Now that we've got the ops module set up, we'll dive into working through an actual project. Now this is going to include setting the job up from a contract administration standpoint, pushing it to a superintendent who will then assign crews and a foreman, and then the foreman's role in managing the job from day to day, and then pushing that data back to contract administrators who will be able to observe job cost, perform invoicing, and then the processing of the time cards.
Let's get a job set up for production. Locate our property, Woodstock High School, and what will create the job is by adding in an opportunity for a sold roof replacement. So within opportunities, we'll click Add Opportunity, and we will flip the status straight from quoted to sold. Now, as long as the product is selected for roof replacement, you will see a checkbox for Send to Production. This will ultimately create the production tab on the property. The project ID number is what will match your accounting system. So your job number can have alphanumeric in this field. So let's do SD124. In the sections, you do want to pick, so we'll go ahead and pick the library section. We're just going to go ahead and replace it. We'll talk about this in advanced training, but we do have the ability to link this to an estimate that we may have performed within this property. Enter in the amount, $88,000. Let's come down to the description and enter in a full roof replacement. And these are just general notes about the job. Click Add New Opportunity. And now we have a production tab that was created because we have a sold opportunity that we click Send to Production. The next step is to set the job up. But before we do that, this is what the job setup looks like. We need to fill all of this out in order to assign the job, get it on the calendar, and put it on all of the reports. Before we do that, let's take a look at the production calendar. And we will toggle from our sales calendar over to the operations calendar. All of the jobs that have been sold will show up in the production queue. Once they are assigned, they will appear beneath the foreman, which their name is listed in bold, and also will be shaded in green for the days of the job duration. There is some functionality that helps manage these jobs. What we see is a 3-month view of all the jobs that are scheduled within the company. The foreman names are listed in bold, and beneath have the jobs that are assigned to them. You will also see a start date and an end date with drag and drop functionality. This allows you to efficiently schedule a stack of jobs. As one is completed, the next one begins. Next to each foreman name, there's a forward arrow and a backward arrow. The forward arrow will push the entire stack of jobs out one day. The backward arrow will remove a day of work. There is a plus and minus next to each individual job. That is how you add and subtract days of work per job. These tools help you communicate to your customers when you believe the jobs will be completed. What you change here will change directly in the production tab. We can also manage crews from here. You will see up to 3 months in advance for scheduling. So now let's set the job up. We will see that our job is actually in the queue, School District 124. And if we click Edit, it'll bring us directly into that production tab. So the first thing we'll look at is this workflow within production. All of your default fields have been populated based on how you have it set up for your workflow product. Now we're ready to set up the job. Click on Daily Progress. The first thing we'll do is we'll give it a project title, and we'll call it the High School Replacement. We can assign it a superintendent, which will be William Riley. Give it to a foreman. We can enter in the estimated amount of hours. We want to pick the start date as well as the finish date, and we're doing our best to communicate to our customers when their project will be complete and also throughout the entire progress on the job. You'll see by choosing the section when we created this job, the square footage originated from when we first measured this section from one of our site visits. Start sending project start notifications. This is the date of which you can set to where the system will send an email to the distribution list explaining when the project will begin. Since we made all of these changes, we want to click Update Values to save everything. You will note the status of this job went from in queue to scheduled. If there are any files that we would like to associate with this project, we can upload the files and also indicate if we would like our foreman to have access, which means the file would appear in the production mobile app. This might be permit, drawing, budget, things like that. As days of work will be added, they will appear underneath the day of work area %complete headers. Now that we've scheduled the job, let's take a peek at the calendar. You will see beneath student demo, we have the high school replacement, which is what we called this job, and it begins on the 20th. Now, before we hop into the mobile version, we need to assign the crews. Let's show you how. Click Manage Crews. What you will see is the foremen are listed on the top, and anyone available for crews will be listed on the left. As long as the bubbles are checked for the appropriate foreman, these people will show up in that foreman's mobile device. In turn, they can be punched in. On this Manage Crews page, we have some other functions to identify who might be available to take or unavailable, and also the ability to put notes. If any changes are made, be sure to hit Set Crews to save the changes. Well, let's dive into the production app.